Good afternoon, everyone. Another preview of NASCAR Cup Series coming up. Real quick, we're going to run through the starting lineup for tonight's O'Reilly's Auto Parts race, which takes place at 7:30 tonight. You can catch it on CW. It is going to follow the IndyCar race, which kicks off. I think the IndyCar race starts at 3. It might actually have already started. IndyCar is not my big thing, so I don't totally keep up with their schedule. I actually have it here. Let me pull up a piece of paper and I'll let y'all know. It is actually it started at 1:20 apparently, which seems odd because I think Cup Series was going on at that time. So we'll see either way. It could be going on right now. It could be starting here soon. So either way. In the O'Reilly series, Auto Parts series, we're just going to run through your quick top 10 starters. Taylor Gray won the pole, followed by Jesse Love, Brandon Jones, Anthony Alfredo, Brent Cruz round out the top 5, followed by William Byron running an extra race in the Cup from the Cup Series down here, get some more laps in. Sammy Smith, Corey Day, Jeb Burton, and Kyle Sieg round out your top 10. Missing from the top 10, kind of shocking me, was Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed. Little bit of a struggle, it seemed, for them, but nonetheless, I expect those guys to get up there and challenge for the win at the end of the day. But Jesse Love seems to be in the best spot. They've done really well here in the past. The RCR has, so we'll excuse me, keep an eye on that. Like I said, that's at 7:30 tonight on the CW. Should be fairly interesting. Like I said, it's a fun racetrack, a little bit different than anything else. Just the way that they use the apron of the track, where they just go all over the place. Restarts are really fun after cautions, and people just wind up going everywhere. It's if you ever heard the phrase, it's like herding cats, that's kind of what it looks like. So without that, we'll jump into the Cup Series. Just finished qualifying a little bit ago. Wanted to wait to post my preview till after qualifying so that we could make sure we have a good set for everybody, and then jump through our fantasy picks and set our 30 for 6 driver for this week, and just make sure we had all the information we needed. We'll start with some breaking news, which is they've been a driver change in the number 48 car for Hendrick Motorsports. Anthony Alfredo is going to be driving that car in place of Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman climbed out of the car last week in COTA with some medical stuff going on. And it turned out he was diagnosed with vertigo, which is not real easy, I guess, to drive a race car if you're suffering from vertigo. Probably not easy to do a whole lot if you've got vertigo. So he was not cleared to race. So Anthony Alfredo, who does all the sim work for Hendrick Motorsports anyway, is going to climb in the car and drive it. So he qualified 4th in the O'Reilly series. Didn't qualify quite as well in the Cup Series, but it's a whole different car. It's a whole different feel. Even though he drives a simulator, simulators are way different than the real car. If you're in a simulator and you make a mistake, you can just hit reset and start over, and not so much in a live car. So he qualified 31st to overall. I'm trying to find some information to figure out what happened with Brad Keselowski. He didn't put in a qualifying lap, so I don't know if there was an issue with the car or what happened. But anyway, he's last on the grid right now at 37th position, so he'll be starting last no matter what. But we're heading to Phoenix. Like I said, love this track. Wild, crazy. Known as I like to give it a couple of different nicknames. One is not really a nickname, but I like to think of it as Kevin Harvick's playground, or Kevin Harvick's raceway, or whatever. He has the all-time wins there. He has 9 wins at Phoenix Raceway. Really impressive to have 9 wins at one track. So, and I want to say there was a stretch. I didn't look this up, but he won I think 3 or 4 consecutive races there and they race there twice in a year. So I think he swept like 2 years back, but I'd have to look into that, and we'll update later when I get a chance to look into that. But the other places it's been known here recently is Penske's Phoenix Playground, and Team Penske has just dominated this track. This used to be up for the past 5-6 years. This was the championship race at the end of the season, and you had a 3-year stretch where Logano won it twice, and sandwiched in between was Ryan Blaney. And they're always in the top 5, top 10, always, constantly. So Roger Penske kind of dominates. They've got some kind of hold on the setup for this racetrack. Last year's winner of this race in the spring was Christopher Bell. He's actually won the last 2 there. The last time we were in Phoenix was November, when the championship race was held, and of course Kyle Larson won that with a great strategy call to take 2 tires instead of 4. Wound up securing him the championship over Denny Hamlin, who actually had dominated the entire race. Just goes to show you, one false move cost you. So we'll run through the starting grid. We're gonna start from 37th and work our way up. You're gonna start 37th, like I mentioned, Brad Keselowski. 36 will be Cole Custer. Noah Gragson is 35th. Cody Ware, Ty Dillon, Eric Jones, Anthony Alfredo, as I mentioned, and Todd Gilliland make up the bottom 30, or the 30th position. 29th is Kyle Busch. That's a bad qualifying position for Kyle Busch. Bubba Wallace, Austin Hill, Chase Elliott. It's pretty low for Chase Elliott, too. Austin Dillon, Zane Smith, AJ Allmendinger, Riley Herbst, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Chase Briscoe is in the 20th position. Again, there seems to be a lot of struggles went on with qualifying with a few of the cars. 19th, we're going to start off with the Rookie of the Year, Connor Zilisch. And I say Rookie of the Year because he's the only rookie. So somebody has to win it. Shane Van Gisbergen, number 18, Chris Buescher, Michael McDowell, John Hunter Nemechek is 15th. Ty Gibbs is 14th. Ryan Preece, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, and my driver, Josh Berry, rounds out the top. He's in the 10th starting position. Really good to see Josh starting up that high. I'll tell you more about him here in a second. 9th is William Byron. 8 is everybody's got their eye on this number 8 starting position of Tyler Reddick in the 45 car. But what else can you say that hasn't been said about the dude? 3 in a row, 78 years of NASCAR history. Nobody's ever won the first 3 races of a year. Michael Jordan is a part, of course, the team owner. He got a 3-peat, his 3rd 3-peat, if you count the 2 from basketball. He could get, who knows, if Tyler Reddick wins, you could have Michael Jordan with his first ever 4-peat, which probably would have already happened had he not retired for a year, but that's a different subject. Carson Hocevar starts 7th, and that's the Hurricane. That kid he's aggressive, and he doesn't care. He just goes. Like to keep an eye on him. Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney is 5th from Team Penske. Daniel Suarez is 4th. Austin Cindric from Team Penske is 3rd. Kyle Larson is 2nd, and Joey Logano from Team Penske is 1st. So all 3 Team Penske cars are in the top 5 to start. And I mentioned Josh Berry. He is an affiliate. They pretty much build their cars in the Penske shop. So he's might as well be, a Penske team. So they consider him a teammate when they're on the track and they need somebody to work with. So you pretty much have all 4 cars from the same shop in the top 10, which speaks volumes, like I said, for how they treat that track. They have some kind of hold that nobody else does. It's normally they use a very soft tire at Phoenix. Now, this is going to be a trick this year because last year they ran 670 horsepower. This year they're running 750 horsepower. So tire wear could be even more of an issue this year than last year. we'll have to keep an eye on that during the race. But they seem to have their cars set up to, yeah, they qualified well, but at the start of the race, you might see them fall back to like 10th, 12th. But then about 20 laps in, they'll start coming. They just somehow do not, their car setups maximize their tire usage. They don't burn them up, and they seem to get faster as the longer the run goes. So something to keep an eye on for this whole race is tire wear. We had a couple of tire issues in qualifying. I know Chris Buescher had I think it was a right front issue with his tire. Riley Herbst had a left rear issue with his tire. I don't know. I didn't catch all of it, but I'm pretty sure there was a couple of more issues. The tires are a big issue at Phoenix, which makes sense when you think about the fact that tires are what keep the race car going in circles. So, Goodyear sets, what they say, they give the teams a range, like, hey, you should keep the air pressure in the left front at 14. Well, that's their suggestion. These crew chiefs are going to go to 10, 9, 11, whatever, to try to maximize. And when you think about that, your passenger car, you keep those tires, 30, 35, somewhere in that range. These guys are running 14 air pressure. So it's pretty much flat when they start. Now, it builds up pressure quickly from the heat. So, but still, you think about, you walk out to your car and you look at it and the tire's low, and you put your little gauge on it and it pops out at 14. That's what they're starting out on. It's pretty crazy. So that's what I'm looking at. We'll jump over and let me share my screen real quick. That's not what I want. I never can. Oh, there it is. I never can remember where the share screen button is on this site, but I'll figure it out one day. So we're going to jump over to our NASCAR homepage, NASCAR.com. And we're going to go check our fan reward stuff. If it'll log in. There it goes. Gotta love technology, y'all, don't you? So there's my points, 1,208. That'll go up by at least 100, 110 actually. I'm guaranteed 110 to go up because of checking into the races this weekend. And again, you need, based on what series you want to go to, you can get tickets to the Cup Series for 5,000. You can get tickets to normally the Truck Series for 2,500, some 1,500, I think. You can get some of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series for 3,000 points. And you look, this is the fourth week of this out of 36 races, and I'm at 1,200 points already. So it's not hard to get all your free stuff. You go through all your stuff, you can see all your points. But we're going to jump into the fantasy side of things. And we're going to jump into our fantasy picks for the week. Remember, you can only use each driver 10 times, and it tells you. I've used him once. I have 9 more times to use him, Ryan Blaney, speaking of which. By the way, Ryan Blaney needs to shave this mustache. I am still waiting for that thing to grow legs and start crawling around on his face. It just looks like one of them big caterpillars you see. Just my opinion. He is married, and I'm sure his wife probably, maybe she loves it. I don't know, so I'm going to leave that up to him. But, man, that thing is thick. I am going to leave Tyler Reddick in here just because I don't like to fight momentum. You win 3 races in a row and you're qualified in the top 10 for the starting position. I'm going to leave you in here. I still have 9 races to use him out of really 26. I said 36 a minute ago. The final 10 are for the chase. So I'm going to go ahead and leave him in for today. Definitely going to leave Blaney in there again. Got to leave the Penske cars in. AJ Allmendinger, I'm going to sub out, but I am going to throw in Austin Cindric. I haven't used him at all, so we'll throw him in. I'm going to pull Shane Van Gisbergen out. I will use him exclusively on road courses and a few other random tracks. I haven't used him yet either, so I'm going to throw Kyle Larson into my starting 5. I'm going to pull Chris Buescher out, and let's throw Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain won this race the year that Ryan Blaney won the championship. Because the way NASCAR used to do it, it was just the highest finisher of the championship 4, no matter who won the race. And Ross Chastain won the race, but Blaney came in second, and he was ahead of all the other 3 cars for the championship. So he won the championship, which was kind of weird, having 2 cars do burnouts at the same time. And that was actually the first time under that format that the winner of the Phoenix race wasn't the champion. So Ross Chastain's always had really good luck here, so I'm going to throw Chastain in. I'm going to pull Connor Zilich out of my garage, and I'm going to find somebody I like that I have 10 of 10 starts left. I'm going to throw Carson Hocevar in there just because he's wild, and you just never know what you're going to get from him. So again, my starting 5 is going to be Reddick, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, and Carson Hocevar. Oh, look at that. Yeah. I mean, I could put Joey Logano in there in my garage. Hey, you know what? Actually, I'm going to change this up. I'm going to pull Hocevar and put in Logano into my garage. What your garage does is there's 3 stages in the race. So if one of these drivers, let's just say Tyler Reddick wrecks before stage 3 starts, you can run over to your fantasy page, grab Joey Logano and put him in, and then you'll get Joey Logano's points, not Tyler Reddick. So if Tyler Reddick gets 1 point for finishing last because he wrecked, and Logano gets 45, you just made 44 points. So that's what I'm going to do. Keep an eye on it. Then you get 10 points for setting this lineup for your fan rewards. Then you come down here and you can get 10 more points for each one of these matchups you get right. This is a tough one, Reddick and Larson. I'm going to take Larson. Blaney and Bell, I'm definitely taking Ryan Blaney, even though Christopher Bell, like I said, has won this race 2 years in a row. I don't go against the Penske Fords on this track. I'm sure I'm going to take Joey Logano. This is a tougher one, Buescher and Chastain. I'm going to take Chastain just because he's been a little bit, up and down. But I think that this track suits Ross pretty well. So we're going to go with Ross Chastain. So I've at least got 10 points for my fantasy team. And then if I get any of these right or all of them, that's 10 more points each. So you got a total of 50 points right there. Plus the O'Reilly series, like I said, starts at 7:30. So right around there, you could hit check in. Go to the NASCAR app and hit live, and it'll say check in. You hit check in, bam, you got 50 points. And then tomorrow again for the Cup Series. So that's the fantasy lineup. Then we're going to jump over. Let's go to Fantasy Hub right there. We'll go down to the 36 for 36. This is a streak-based game. So you pick one driver per week. I didn't do too well in week 2. But I mean, I did okay the rest of them. So week 4, you get one driver per week. And you want to, it doesn't really matter if the driver for the last 10 races for the chase are in the playoffs, so you're still going to get points for them. But you got to try to figure out who to use at what track and when to use people that might not be really good. Like on road courses, I would choose, a Shane Van Gisbergen, a Tyler Reddick, a Christopher Bell, somebody like, or a Connor Zilich for the road courses because they're just really good at road courses. But you would stay away from like Josh Berry, who's not good at road courses. But for this race at Phoenix, I'm going to try to make a splash. I'm actually going to use Josh Berry for this race. So we'll put him in starting 10th, still early in the season. I got time to make up some points if I need to. So that's how you set, your fantasy teams. I do have another fantasy team because I have 2 accounts here with my stuff. Let me change my entries. we'll go over here. This one I just play with. I kind of do a lot more crazy stuff with this. This group here is actually open. Anyone can enter. It's not a private league, so if you're curious and you want to jump in, you can jump into and search for WTP Sports Dudes and just join, and then you can ask questions, whatever, and I'll help you out, answer some, give you some ideas, or you can, keep watching my videos before you go make your picks, and you'll have my insight. Like I've always given you the disclaimer, don't try to think that I know everything about it, because this is racing and anything can happen. I could have the top 5 cars, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 through the whole race. And then with 3 laps to go, number 2 takes out number 1, who wrecks 4, 5, and 6. So, it could go downhill really fast. So, but I know who's kind of good at some tracks. So I'll answer any questions you might have if you want to join up. So for this one, we'll go as soon as I can get it to let me set my team. Here we go. This one, like I said, I just play with. I'll pull him out. Throw Logano in this one. We'll throw Cindric. I'm going to throw Daniel. I've already used Daniel Suarez twice. Let me save him. I'm going to throw William Byron in here. Where's Christopher Bell? Let me find him. I think he's starting 12th. Oh, he's in the garage. So we'll move him out of the garage. Let's put Daniel Suarez in the garage. Then we'll put Christopher Bell here. And we'll pull Connor Zilic and throw in. Let's go pick somebody random. Let's go throw Kyle Busch in. So we'll just throw that one together for that. You can have multiple entries for your fantasy teams, but you only get one for your fan rewards for the 36 for 36. So, but this one would be a training site that I have. So let me go make my picks down here. We'll go Larson, Blaney, Chastain, Logano. Oh, yeah, down at the bottom, too, they'll give you who are some good options if you're not sure who you want. Again, this is just based on previous stuff, so take it as you want for that stuff. So we got those. So we're set here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's see if it'll. I don't know if it'll let me do. No, it jumped right back. So, no big deal. So that's pretty much how you set it up and get through it all. Like I said, there's videos out there on my page you can find. There's a whole NASCAR for Beginners series you can watch that will break all this down and give you a little more info into how to do it, what it's worth, what you get, things like that. Just to give you kind of an idea when you go to your rewards page. I'll just show you all this real quick while it loads eventually. Go to view dashboard again. And eventually everything will load. And there you go, rewards catalog. Last time I tried this, it was still having errors because they had just relaunched it. So let's see. So you can redeem points, 50 points for all this stuff right here for the championship weekend down at Miami Homestead. Pretty good deal, but I mean, that's a sweepstakes, so take it as you want. You want a miniature helmet signed by a driver, 12,000 points, collapsible bags. Here's tickets. Sometimes the Cup Series is already sold out. They'll add more maybe throughout the year, but you can see Craftsman Truck Series race, 2,500 points. I'm almost there. O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, 3,000 points. So there's plenty of ways to to find things, you know, that you may want. Let's go to rewards, home, other stuff in there. I mean, merchandise sweepstakes, gift cards, autographed merchandise. I mean, there's, what digital gift cards do they have? I mean, Amazon, you trade in 6,000 points for a $25 card. You know, just different things that you can get through it. I don't know. Sometimes the autographed merchandise gets a little pricey, but of course it's autographed by drivers. You know, hats, helmets. Let's see what else is there. I wonder if they got any new merchandise out. Yeah, just a variety of stuff. I mean, umbrellas, socks, bottle opener, barbecue set, you know, die-cast cars, I mean, all kinds of stuff. They had some. I bought some Ray-Bans, aviator sunglasses off here before. Everybody needs a new koozie. Just, you know, the random stuff, and it changes. You know, you can come look, and tomorrow there might be something else on there that you want. So, just again, I mean, it's points. They're free. You get them for just checking in and doing stuff. So it's pretty cool to get free stuff. You know, so just one of those things. That's what I'm looking forward to this weekend. The race tomorrow is at 3:30 p.m. on FS1. So, you know, tune in, check it out, see what you want. I mean, drop comments. You can message me. If you're watching this video, you can drop a comment, and I keeping up with all my comments. If anybody comments or asks questions, I'll definitely respond to you. So other than that, be sure y'all look at all the channels that we got scrolling across the bottom down there too. Lots of good content on all of our channels. Go like, subscribe. When you do, hit that notification bell. You'll know when we're going live, any of us, on across all of our channels. Like, subscribe, share. We don't ask for anything, just helps kind of promote us a little more and gets us more visibility. So other than that, I hope everybody has a good evening, enjoys the race weekend, and we'll catch up Monday or Tuesday with our recap of everything and see where we stand. Y'all have a good afternoon.